The Omega Point. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin's Evolutionary Theology and its reception in theological and scientific literature by Lilla Strobel. John Wesley, Theological College. Abstract. In this unique position at the intersection of science and spirituality, Pierre Teilhard de Chardin is a Jesuit priest, paleontologist, and philosopher. As Teilhard de Chardin attempted to reconcile the seemingly absurd realms of faith and science, this article examines his life and views. In Teilhard de Chardin's philosophy, the Omega Point represents the highest point of complexity and consciousness in the universe. The framework is discussed in the context of his views on cosmic evolution, human consciousness, and the intricate interconnection between all life forms. The article attempts to provide an overview of the reception of Teilhard de Chardin's ideas within both religious and secular communities. Introduction. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin was a French Jesuit monk, scientist, paleontologist, and theologian. His life and work had a significant impact on the fields of science, philosophy, and religion. Teilhard de Chardin combined the Darwinian theory of evolution with the ideas of Christian faith and theology. He believed that evolution plays a role not only in the biological world, but also in the development of consciousness and society. As a result, he created the concept of noosphere, which represents the collective sphere of thoughts and human consciousness. Among his important works is The Phenomena of Man, in which he presents the process of evolution and the possibilities for the development of human consciousness. He believed that humanity would become more and more interconnected as it progressed through the evolutionary process, reaching a point he called the Omega Point. This would be the step where consciousness unites and reaches a new level in which humanity lives and cooperates in unity. Teilhard de Chardin was known for his multidimensional personality as a scientist, theologian, and mystic. He possessed a deep sense of wonder and curiosity about the natural world and the mysteries of existence. His ideas were profoundly influenced by his dual background in science and spirituality, leading him to bridge the gap between evolutionary science and religious thought. As a Jesuit priest, Teilhard de Chardin was deeply devoted to his religious faith. His spiritual inclination and commitment to the Christian tradition shaped the lens through which he viewed the universe and its purpose. He was also known for his open-mindedness and willingness to explore new ideas. Teilhard was not afraid to challenge conventional beliefs and sought to reconcile scientific discoveries with religious doctrine. One of Teilhard de Chardin's central ideas was the concept of Omega Point. He proposed that evolution has a purposeful direction leading toward a final convergence or point of unity, which he called the Omega Point. Humanity's consciousness will eventually become the thinking layer of the earth, which Teilhard calls the noosphere. Cosmic evolution will not stop with the noosphere. Teilhard does not see the human race as the embodiment of the universe. Rather, it says that nature provides us with another evolutionary opening, a super soul above our souls. Teilhard de Chardin outlines evolution as a process that leads to more complex organisms and thus to higher self-awareness. According to this theory, self-consciousness was already present in the time of the creation of the world. In one of his major works, The Human Phenomena, he divides the history of evolution in 4 parts, which are also the 4 levels of evolution: the pre-life, the period between the origin of the universe and the appearance of life, the appearance of life, the appearance of the first living creatures, the emergence of self-consciousness, the emergence of man, the future of humanity. By the future he meant more than the construction of the physical world. He envisioned an irreversible ascent through the collective forces of man, material and spiritual, to reach what he called the Omega Point. For Teilhard, the Omega Point is the cosmic summit, Christ who is the soul of the earth. As a naturalist, Teilhard began to see the cosmos as an ongoing holistic entity. The scientific basis of his ideas rest on the principles of geological and biological evolution. As a theologian, he combined these evolutionary cosmic concepts with Christian confessional theology. Teilhard calls the superhuman the Omega Point. This is the pinnacle of cosmic evolution. Scientifically, Teilhard can only imagine what Omega's reality might be like, a pure conscious energy. Through his comprehensive view of the universe, Teilhard found Christ in the entire cosmos, from the smallest particle of matter to the human community. The cosmos is a kind of creation. Christ is the means, the center, and the end of the entire living and material creation. Through him everything is created, sanctified, and brought to life. Christ took human form and gave the world its final form. God could not create without being incarnate, and to be incarnate is to share suffering and evil on earth. The greater unity he observed in nature, from atoms to cells to plants to animals to humans, led him to posit a central figure as the basis of unity, both immanent and transcendent to material reality. The expressed love of the Father is concentrated in the Word. So when God turns to the world, Christ becomes the center of creation. The doctrine of creative union complemented the Franciscan idea that Christ is first in God's inventions of love. All of creation is modeled after Christ. For Teilhard, evolution was divine from the beginning and always aimed at the baptized universe. In his book Christianity and Evolution, Teilhard puts it this way: cosmogenesis transforms into Christogenesis, and this belongs to the now personalized world. Someone and no longer something is evolving in the universe. In some providential way, the God above, the Alpha, unites and imbues Christ within and forward with the Omega. And as Georgetown University theologian John Hott describes, Teilhard's synthesis of evolution and spirituality led him to propose the idea of noosphere, which denotes the sphere of human thought and collective consciousness. He believed that as human intelligence and interconnectedness increases, the noosphere would evolve, ultimately contributing to the realization of the Omega Point. He emphasized the interconnectedness of all living beings and their place within the cosmic evolutionary process. Teilhard saw humanity as an integral part of Earth's evolution, with a responsibility to actively participate in its continued development. According to Teilhard, evolution has two parts: the biological and the cosmological processes of creation, cosmogenesis, and the evolution of faith is Christogenesis. With Genesis, he indicated that evolution involves controlled change, a pattern process. Teilhard recognized that the whole evolutionary process was a unifying effect, has a unifying effect and a centralizing factor that continues to hold the whole process together and move it forward towards greater complexity and unity. Hence, evolution has a direction. The ultimate mover of the whole cosmogenesis, he indicated, is what it is at once in the series of living beings as tendency, desire and purpose, and before the advancing wave of development. Evolutionary pressure drives this development at every stage. Unconvinced by the human phenomenon, Teilhard's theological critics accused him of promoting a modern-day form of Gnosticism that denies the historical Jesus. It does not separate theology and science and replaces salvation with evolution. According to Etienne Gilson, one of his most famous critics, Teilhard's apparent efforts to synthesize salvation and evolution only do violence to the traditional Christian understanding and should be rejected as theologically incoherent and spiritually dangerous. So here I stop reading this article because now it continues with the theological part of it, the reputation in religious community. I just want to leave that behind. Thank you so much for listening.